Hi. I wanted to talk today about gratitude. Earlier this year, one of my sisters and her husband were killed in a car accident, and we were really close. So that was hard. Or at least I thought we were really close. It turned out my sister was keeping some kind of sad secrets and tough things from us. And that unleashed a cascade of problems. The family business that my sister and her husband were running was having some challenging times. It wasn't their fault. In the economic downturn, it's hit all of our competitors as well, but that was a surprise. Um, some identity thieves stole their identities and proceeded to raid our bank accounts and cause a lot of problems. And yeah, there's just been a lot of stuff that I was dealing with. And one of my coping mechanisms was writing and just trying to write it out. And that was Shadow of the Witch. It's part of the Mystery School series, and it is a mystery, and it's a fun mystery, but it's also about coming out of a tragedy and how you do that. And one of the things that kept coming up as I was writing was gratitude. And it was really pissing me off because I'm like, there's no way I could feel any gratitude for what happened. This is awful. I've lost a beloved sister, and there's nothing good here. And there's a whole lot of bad that just kept coming and coming and coming, one problem after another. But I came to understand that gratitude actually can be very healing. The thing is, I am still not grateful for what happened to my sister, and I am not going to be grateful for what happened to my sister, and I don't have to be. And you don't have to be grateful for the bad things, the really bad things that happen to you either. In fact, it's impossible for most of us, unless you're, I don't know, Jesus levels of spirituality, which I don't know about you, but I am certainly not. So how can we use gratitude? Well, there are two ways. But before I get to those, I want to talk about why you use gratitude. First, because gratitude is a mood booster. Second, because as it boosts our mood, it boosts our emotional and energetic set point, and the world reacts positively to that and to us. So it just makes life better. And finally, gratitude is contagious. There's this esoteric idea, and I have to talk about the esoteric because I write a lot of esoteric and metaphysical, that we're all energy, and that makes us all connected. And so if we're all connected, then it's our duty to put good energy and good emotions into that connection for our sake and for the sake of everybody around us. But on a more practical basis, emotions are contagious, whether it's anger or whether it's love or happiness or gratitude. So these positive emotions, they're good for everyone. And we do owe it to the people around us to try and feel them. Well, now we can't feel happy, happy, happy all the time. That's not reality either. We're humans living a full human experience. And that means, yes, sadness and anger and everything that goes with that. But we don't want to live in those emotions any longer than we have to. And gratitude can really help pull us out. So the two ways we can use gratitude, even in awful, awful, awful situations. Find things to be grateful for around the situation. The people who are there for you, the people who are supporting you, even if they're doing it clumsily, the people who are trying because they care. When I got the news of my sister's death, it was Friday evening, and yeah, I was devastated. My boyfriend was on his way over with lasagna, and he showed up, and I just lost it. That weekend, my surviving sister and I were at my house strategizing, what to do next. How do we deal with all this? And he was there the whole time. And we agreed that she would go to Texas, where my sisters had died, and I would go to California, where her son was and where most of our other relatives are. And my boyfriend decided to go with me. He did not leave my side for 10 days. Now that Friday night, I remember him holding me, and I remember thinking, I love this man. And right now, I just feel absolutely nothing between us because all I could feel was grief. But when he came to California with me, and he wasn't even able to tell his office until Monday afternoon that, oh, by the way, I'm not going to be in this week. And they were cool about it, fortunately. Um, I just realized how lucky I was to have him in my life, and I felt gratitude. And that was the first spark of an emotion aside from grief inside me. And love came along with it. So look for the people and the things around this event that support you, and try to feel grateful for that, because it does push some of the grief away. It makes room for other emotions like love. The second way you can use gratitude will come a good bit later, sometimes months later. I had so many things I had to deal with after my sister's death, and I'm not even talking about the funeral. Actually, her company was amazing. They did almost everything and took care of all that. But with the family business, my own business, I let it collapse. I was writing, but I wasn't doing any promoting, and you have to do that. So my income dropped. Dealing with the identity thieves, and I learned a lot there. If you lose somebody, shut down their phones as soon as you can, because if an identity thief is able to steal their phone account, all that two-factor identification, which is designed to protect you, goes to them and becomes a weapon against you. Anyways, aside from that hard lesson, I had to step up. I had to take on obligations I hadn't had to think about before, and I didn't know much about. And in order to step up, I had to level up. And fortunately, I got a lot of help for both my own business and for the family business. And when I looked back about 6 months later, I realized how much I had leveled up. I had actually changed for the better. I wish to hell that I hadn't been pushed into it by my sister's death, but it was something that was overdue and something that I had to do. And I am grateful that I got through it and learned the lessons I did, and have, leveled up. So that's another thing that you can feel grateful for. Again, this comes later on. But once I got to that level, things started to change for me. I've been dealing with a slew of what seemed like bad luck at the family business, things with the identity thieves, and then everything started to change. Things just started smoothing out. The ringleader of the identity thieves was actually caught, which was a huge shock because there was only one police officer who was interested in the case. And thank God for her and for her dedication. Nobody else was interested in touching it. It was considered small potatoes. It's just identity theft. We've got, murders and stuff going on, but these people were thieves, and apparently it was a pretty good sized ring, and they've caused a lot of damage. So for me, this isn't about revenge. I'm just glad they're off. Well, I hope they'll be off the streets for a while so they don't get to hurt other people. But things finally feel like they're turning. I feel like my luck is turning. Anyways, to summarize, gratitude is good for your mood. It's good for the people around you. It helps you get in flow with the universe. It helps boost your luck, which is, again, what my book Shadow of the Witch is ostensibly about. And you can find gratitude even when awful things happen, not for the awful things, but for the little things around it, for the people who help you, and for who you become and what you learn afterwards. And it can really change things. I still have some heaviness about my sister's death, and I expect I'll carry that around for a bit. But things are getting better. So gratitude. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you again soon.